What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. Today we are going to be flying from Fort Lauderdale to Jamaica. We're going to be flying JetBlue flight number 1327. Should be clear skies all the way down there. Here is our flight plan, or flight path, if you want to see that real quick. We'll go ahead and move that back over here. I haven't done anything in the plane. We're going to be flying the Fenix A320. So I figured we'll jump inside the plane and we'll get everything started. Now, we are not flying with that sim today because none of the controllers are on. So we're just going to do a standard flight here. The first thing I'm going to do is get into my Fenix app here and tap to import. Let's go ahead and jump up to our overhead panel here. We'll get battery switch 1 and 2 turned on, and we'll go on our external power. We'll go ahead and get our emergency exit lights armed. Oh, we want that on arm. We get our nav and logo lights on, and I think our wing lights come on. Crew supply can come on. We'll switch this to captain. We'll set these to nav, and we'll jump back over here. We'll go ahead and import from SimBrief. Yes, re-import now. I don't know why this is saying we're delayed because we're not. I don't know which time to change this to. 0600 maybe. I don't know. That thing always says we're delayed even though we're not. I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna go to ground services, and I want to make sure we have our, well, I guess once we do our mass and balance, so we'll sync our load sheet, and we'll load the aircraft. We'll click load. We'll go ahead and do fast time. And while that's doing that, we'll jump over to Navigraph. We'll get our flight plan imported here. Import from SimBrief. There we go. And that should load up our flight. I guess I didn't need to show it to you because our route is also on here, which is exactly the same. We'll be flying right over Cuba, right over to Jamaica. Go ahead and close out of this. We'll head over to Pilot Brief. And in Pilot Brief, we'll go ahead and import our flight documents here, so that we know everything that we're doing. Here we go. Here's all our flight information. Our cost index is 28, flight number JetBlue 1327. Here's our zero fuel weight right here. Our block fuel is right here. And if we scroll down, a lot of things, or a lot of the time, you guys don't get to see where I get my wind information. So top of climb, TOC, is going to be our wind information. I believe we're flying at 350. So under TOC at 350, it's going to be 267 at 30 knots. So that's where I get my wind information. And then you have like your weights and everything in here, your packs, your cargo, payload, zero fuel weight. All that information is in here, which is good. So we'll jump back up here and we can start importing our flight plan. We'll jump down here. We'll close out of this. We'll get rid of this. All these, come on, select our desired system. We'll click that. We'll click here. We'll head over to flight init, and we'll do an init data request. That will request our flight plan, and then we'll head over to init. There we go. And we will also request here. And we could put some information in here, such as our flight number, which is going to be JBU 1327. Let's see. Why am I not seeing J? JBU 1327. We'll drop that in there. Our cost index was 28. Drop that in there. And our cruise, we'll go ahead and close out of this stuff. Our cruise was 350. So we'll put that in, and that'll automatically generate our temps. If we can go to the next page. So this we're going to have to put in, but we have to wait until the plane's loaded to do that. So we can head over to flight plan KFLL, and we're going to be departing off of runway 28 right, the Reg A2. So let's get 28 right. And let's scroll down. Reg A2. And this is going to be our transition. We'll go ahead and insert that. And then our arrival is going to be... Let's take a look here. 27. Runway 27. Wait, is it 27? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Runway 7. Runway 7, and it's going to be this one. And the add cell transition. There we go. There we go. We'll go ahead and insert that as well. We'll go ahead and zoom out here. We'll go to flight plan. We are on flight plan. We're going to zoom out here. We're going to set this to plan. We'll turn constraints on. We're just going to verify that everything here is correct. Everything is green, connected, and going to the right place. Looks good to me. And then down to the runway. Excellent. Everything looks good to me. We'll set this back to arc mode. Still waiting for our GPSs to come alive. We can come down here. I gotta remember what these buttons are. In it, we can go to IRS, in it, and align on ref if we want to. Go ahead and confirm align. We'll head back to performance. We need to get our departure performance information, which is over here. So we'll head to the Fenix app. No, I lied. We're gonna head up to the departure performance. And we're gonna be departing, what runway did I say? We're runway 28 right. So we'll select 28 right. It is dry. We won't be using anti-ice. Packs will be on. We can sync the load sheet. There we go. And sync live weather. And we'll go ahead and calculate that. That's going to give us 142.142.144. So let's go ahead and get that in. 142.142.144. And then this was, flaps was down. 1/DN 0.3. 1/DN 0.3. We'll put that in there. Let's get our flex temp. 59 and 1010. So 59 here. And we're going to do 10 by 10. Drop that in here and do it one more time. We'll put it over here. We can head over to the next phase if we want, but we're not going to be needing that right now. We can go to somewhere. I got to request the winds. Here we go. Wind request. So this will sync up all our winds. There we are. Go ahead and close out of that. And now we just need... Is it in it? Yep. Now we just need this information, which we're not going to be able to get until the plane finishes boarding. And let's see where we're at. We have 114 boarded, 115 out of 152. And then we need to get our zero fuel weight and our this one and put that information into the FMC. In the meantime, we're going to be pushing back pretty quickly here. We can go ahead and get our fuel pumps turned on. And we're going to get our APU started. We'll get that going. We'll get our door open. We can go ahead and get our barometer information, which is here. We'll head over to weather. We'll resync that to make sure that's current. And we're looking at 29908. Oh, so this is going to be 29908. These are not synced like they're supposed to be. No matter how many times I switch that, it does not stay. We go over here. I think it's controls. We want these linked. All right, back to mass and balance. We should be fully loaded here shortly. Our flap door is open, so we can go ahead and... Sorry, I got to remember all these buttons. We can go ahead and get our APU started. We'll get our APU bleed on as well. We'll get some panel lighting up here. And everything looks good down here. We get a little bit of panel lighting here. And underneath here. There we go. Looks good to me. And at this point, we're just waiting for it to finish loading. We could jump over to our Navigraph if we want, take a look at our chart and see where we're going. So KFLL, take a look at ground charts, airport info. And we're doing 28 right. So we're going to back out tail, boarding's complete, tail to the right. And we're probably going to go Tango, Tango 4, Bravo, Bravo 12. Or Bravo, I guess Bravo 11. That looks good to me. Okay, let's head back over to our Fenix app and grab these numbers. 131.4, 29.9. 131.4. 131.4 /29.9. We'll put that in there. Our block fuel was 15,007. Well, 15.0. Is that how we do it? I think that's right. That should be our block fuel. Everything looks good. We're not getting any warnings. Everything seems to have worked out well. Let's go up overhead here. Our APU is ready, so we can go ahead, go ahead onto off our external power. We can get our beacon on because we're going to be pushing back here in a moment. And I think we are good to push. All we need to do is set this to, what was it, 35,000. That's going to be our cruise. If I get this up, we'll get that on. We'll set this to engine start. And I think we're good to push. I don't think there's anything we're missing. So we'll go ahead and release our parking brake. We'll head over here and we'll call for ground services. We'll call for our tug. So we'll get the door closed. We'll get the GPU and the chocks removed. And we'll connect our tug. And in the meantime, we can go ahead and fire up our first engine. So we're going to start with engine 2. Go ahead and click that on. TCAS is on standby. We'll set that to TARA. There we are. And we look good. Engine is coming to life. Everything looks good. Oh, you can hear the engine coming to life. Oh yeah, we need to actually start a straight back push. There we go. Now we're moving. Let's go. Engine is coming up nice and quiet, nice and stable. About to be stable. So yep, we're good. We can go ahead and start our second engine. And let's take a look outside. Alright, so we'll start our turn in just a minute. By the way, guys, this is going to be my first video, I guess second video, because I did the helicopter video around Buffalo, New York, Niagara Falls. This will be my second video with the RTX 4080 and the i9 12900K. And I am loving it. Frames are so much better. Performance is incredibly better. So much better. You guys are thinking about doing it, highly recommend it. We got a plane sitting here behind us. Got a couple planes over there. We are almost done this pushback here. And we can go ahead and stop the pushback there. We'll go ahead and toggle on our brake. And our engines are both stable. So we'll go ahead and flick this back into normal mode. We don't need that in start mode anymore. We'll head to our overhead panel here. We'll get our APU bleed off and our master switch can come off. We'll get our taxi light turned on, our runway turn off lights turned on. And I think we're good with everything up here. We'll get our auto brake set to max. We'll arm our speed brake. We'll get our flaps set to 1. And I think that's all we need. I think we are good to go. We should be able to start our taxi. So we're going to be taxiing pretty much straight. We're going to be following the taxiway right in front of us. I think it was Tango. Yep, Tango. So we're going to be taxiing here to here to here. That's basically where we're going. All right, how do I get out of this pen mode? There we go. All right. So we will go ahead and release our parking brake. And I think everything else is right. Let's just make sure. Everything else looks good. We don't have any alerts or button alarms or lights or anything. All right, we'll go ahead and give ourselves a little bit of throttle. We'll give ourselves some left rudder so we could turn and get onto that taxi line. Oh man, these engines spool up way quicker than the 737. I suspect I'm going to be doing more flights in this because now that I can handle the performance, I love this plane. I just struggled with some frames and being able to actually use it as much as I wanted to use it, but I'm going to be doing more flights in this plane for sure. All right, so we're going to veer off to the left here. and then we're going to make that right, and that's going to be the taxiway that we're looking for, which was, I believe, Bravo. So we're on Tango now. We're going to follow this up, and then we're going to make that right, and we're going to follow along parallel to the runway there. If you guys are enjoying this, be sure to hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, definitely subscribe if this is the kind of content you like. And I'll keep making videos so long as people are enjoying it. All right, so we do have a company message. That's just going to be them telling us that we're late or delayed or whatever, which is fine. I'm just going to ignore that for now. We'll deal with that once we're up in the air. But this is going to be our Bravo taxiway, and we're looking to get down to Bravo 11, which is where we're going to jump onto the runway. Beautiful sunrise here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Beautiful weather, clear skies. Should be a good flight. I don't think there's much weather that we're going to be flying through. I don't think Jamaica's having any negative weather, at least not that I know of. So it should be a good flight. We'll just keep on taxiing down here. Unfortunately, we're not on VATSIM. I would like to be on VATSIM again. I was absolutely enjoying that, but not all the time. There's not always controllers available. So we can jump on right here, which I don't know why that's not reflecting on the I guess, oh, Bravo 10. I guess it kind of is. We'll get on here on Bravo 10. All right, and we're just going to pull right out onto the runway. Normally we would hold short right here, but we'll get our lights on. Get our takeoff lights turned on. We'll get our strobe turned on. And we'll get our nav lights turned on as well. There we go. And we'll just keep on pulling out here onto the runway. There we go. All right, and we will stop right here for just a minute. All right, and we are ready for departure. So I think we are good. We have everything set. We don't have any alerts going on down here, just a company message. We have our max auto brake set. We have our flap set. We have our speed brake armed. We'll go ahead and lock the cabin door here. And I think we're good to go. So we'll go ahead and set it to Toga. We'll get our engines spooling up, and now we'll go to Toga. We'll keep it centered on the line, and we're looking for our V speeds. $100 knots. Giving a little bit of left rudder just to keep it on the line. We're coming up on our V1. There's our V1. And we're going to rotate. All right, positive rate, and we'll go ahead and gear up. We'll go ahead and jump into a wing view. There we are. I forgot to turn the cabin lights off, but that's all right for now. There we are. We'll jump back up front here. We're going to nose down just a little bit, and we'll get our flaps in. We'll start a right-hand turn. Go ahead and toggle on the autopilot. There we are, right-hand turn. Flaps are in. Landing lights or takeoff lights and everything can come off. Runway turn off and taxi lights, I mean. They can come off. We can set this back to climb mode. Our throttles are set to climb mode. And we can unarm our speed brakes. And we are good. Let's jump over here. We're going to go back and we're going to go to the Fenix app here. And we'll head over to sim settings, I think it is, and then cabin, and we'll go ahead and turn off the cabin lights. Head back over to Navigraph. Now when we go into our wing views, which is not that button. There you go. And we have no cabin lights. There we go. There's a nice wing view for you. Great departure so far. Great view out the window. There's a golf course just under our wing there. Of course there is. It's Florida. Why wouldn't there be a golf course? See the coastline out there, which I think we're going to be looping around right over to. We'll go ahead and jump back up front here. Make sure we're not getting any alerts or alarms. Looks like we're climbing pretty good. Everything is looking good. Let's take a look at this. We'll switch this over to our route. Let's take a look at our route. There we are, and we'll leave that up for now. Let's take a look at our main display here. I don't think that, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to see this till we turn. I was trying to see where our top of descent was gonna be, but we'll try and capture that once we get a little bit closer to the airports that we're going to. Where's that right wing view? There we go. Just breaking out above these clouds. Lots of ground textures. Looks really good. Looks very good. Oh, I love the sounds of this plane. I could honestly make a video for 2 hours in this plane and just play it back and fall asleep. Love the sounds in this plane. All right, landing lights. We're gonna keep those on for now because we're only at 7,000. Let's take a look at this this stupid message that we have. Let's clear that. How do we look at that? Well, I forget where it is. AOC menu, received message. It's gonna be our load sheet. Oh, wait, so they didn't yell at us for being late? No, we'll get that message later. They will. They'll send it. Don't worry. It's on its way. We'll head back over to flight plan. And we're about to cross 9,000. So we'll get our lights off once we hit 10,000, which we're coming up on pretty soon. We'll go back into the wing view for a minute. That's the wrong side. There we are. There's an airport down there. Not sure which airport that is, but if you do know what airport that is, drop a comment and let me know. I believe that is the airport we just took off from. Alright, let's jump back up front. We should be crossing 10,000. Yes, we are. We'll go ahead and get our lights off here. And it looks like everything is good. We have no alerts on our display. We're climbing pretty good. We can go ahead and release our seatbelts, so people can take their seatbelts off and roam about as they need to use the restrooms and facilities or whatever they need to do. Turn constraints on over here. And once we get to 18,000 feet, we'll jump into a time lapse. Flight should be about an hour and 40 minutes. So not too bad of a flight. You guys will see that in about 2 minutes. But I'll be sitting here doing the entire thing. Looks like we are pitched down to get our airspeed up now that we crossed that 10,000 feet mark. Once we hit 18,000 feet, that's when we'll jump on the time lapse, which is our transition altitude in the United States. And we'll toggle it into standard mode. Looking good so far. We could do a left wing view. Take a look out the left wing. See the whole coastline right there. Looks really good. All right, we'll do a right wing view. Check out that coastline. Fort Lauderdale right there. Miami down there. See some boats out there. Some cargo boats. Cargo ships, I should say. All right, crossing over 13,000. Everything's going pretty good so far. I do love this plane. If you guys have not gotten this plane and you've been considering getting this plane, I highly recommend getting it. It is such a great plane. It flies so well. It feels so real. The sound effects are amazing. They're constantly doing upgrades with it. I love that the iPad is in here, which makes it so much easier. And I can do all of my stuff in the plane without having the need for other screens. It's all right here. I love it. Although I do have a multi-monitor setup, I do like that I don't have to use all my monitors to fly this plane. So, you know, a lot of the times in flight, I'll just throw on YouTube or Netflix while I do the flight. And it's very convenient. It makes it a lot better. We're coming up on 15,400. Not a whole lot to see. We'll jump into a wing view. We're just flying out over the water. We should be making a right turn pretty soon. See the coastline out there. Yep, we'll be making a right turn shortly here. There it is. Very nice. Again, not a whole lot to see over water. I am glad there's some clouds. Maybe that will, you know, this is going to be our time-lapse view. So maybe that'll make it nice to look out the window just to see some clouds and be able to see the separation from the sky and the water. But we're going to be flying pretty much towards the sun for most of the route. We are at 17,500, so we'll go ahead and toggle. We already got our landing lights off. We don't have to toggle off any of our other lights up here, I don't think. We could turn our wing lights off if we wanted to. We can go ahead and toggle this into standard mode. And from there, we're going to go ahead and jump in the front window. And we will start our time lapse here. And I'll see you guys when we're closer to our descent. I hope you guys enjoy the flight. Guys, welcome back. It was a very smooth flight. We are on our descent now. We're at 28,200 feet, and we have a couple things that we need to do. First thing we need to do is we need to do our arrival performance. We need to put that into the plane now. So runway is dry. We're gonna refresh the MEDAR and we're gonna apply the MEDAR. Altimeter is looking like 2994. Landing weight, we need to get that, which I think, let me see if I can find that on my other screen here. 137.9, I believe. Let me double check. I'm not sure if that's on the Fenix app or not. I don't remember. I don't see it here. So if we go over to our pilot brief and we scroll down, I think what we're looking for is weights and then our estimated LAW, which is 137.9. I believe that's going to be our landing weight. 137.9. We'll go ahead and hit enter on that. We could do medium auto brakes. We'll probably do a manual landing. And auto throttle will be on. Flaps will be full. And runway 7, I believe it was. There we go. All right, so manual landing, full flaps, medium auto brake, no reverser. This is where we'll stop. So that should be good for me. So now we're going to jump over to our Navigraph chart, and we need to take a look at the approach chart. So approach, ILS 7. So we have 109.5, 072, and then we have 1800 for our intercept and 304. So let's make sure all of this stuff is in the plane. We're going to jump down here, enter destination data. We're going to do that now. We'll head over to performance. We'll go to next phase, approach, which is going to be 2994. We'll put that in there. The temperature is 27 degrees. So we'll put that in there. 137 is going to be our landing. And what was it for our 304 for our landing barometer? So we'll do 304. We'll put that in there. Let me take a look at our... We'll put a little bit of drag in because we're above our glide path a little bit here. So we're going to slow it down a little bit. We're going to help it slow down so we can catch back up to that. But everything looks good on here. Next phase, we can go back. We'll go previous page, and we are good. We're good to land. So all we have to do is go to performance and then hit activate approach once we're a little bit closer. We did catch up to our glide path there. So our barometer is 29904. We'll go ahead and put that in now. We'll pull this out, or I guess in 29904. We'll make sure it syncs up over there. We're going to set this down to 1800. There we are. That's going to be our intercept altitude. As you can see right here, 1800. Everything else looks fine. Let's back this out. We are good to go. All right, let's head back. How do I, there we go. Let's head back to our route and take a look at where we are there. And we'll zoom this in onto our plane. There we go. And we are just about arriving. Let's take a look at our... No, I don't want KFLL. Let's take a look at our taxi chart here so we know which way we have to get off. We're going to look at ground charts and airport info. All right, it looks like we're going to be getting off on the right side. That's going to be our taxi on the right hand side. So we'll go ahead and pull this back here. We are on our final approach. Altitude is looking good. All of our information is in the plane. Let's make sure we have our frequencies. So we don't... Well, I guess it is 109.5 is our ILS frequency. And our final approach course is going to be 072 or 073, which is in here. So we are good on that. We don't have to put that into the plane. Everything looks pretty good. So from here, we're pretty much just managing our speeds. We did get a company message. We'll go ahead and toggle on our seatbelt sign. The company message was, I didn't look at it, but I'm going to assume that it's just the "you were late, tell us why" delay card. Yep. So I don't remember what the information is for that. I don't remember where the delay card is. Here it is. All right, so we'll say en route slot delay, ATZ is what we're going to say. So we'll go back to Navigraph. And I think we can reply to this. I don't remember. Oh, back. ADC delay. I think it was ATZ. I don't remember what the time was. I don't remember. I could say 0055, 55 minutes. I don't know if that'll work. We'll send it. We'll see what happens. All right, we're looking good. We're at 11,000 feet already, so we're going to go ahead and get our taxi lights turned on, or not our taxi lights, our landing lights turned on, rather. We don't need to do anything else. We'll get our speed brake set and our flaps set, or ground spoiler set, once we're a little bit closer. But we are coming down to 10,000 feet. We are following our descent path. We're probably gonna... I feel like we're gonna get very low very quick and end up just staying too low. Look, see? What's the plane gonna do here? We're gonna fix that? Yeah, it's correcting. Okay. Let's take a look. We're making a right here, and then we're just kind of looping around. I want to catch back up to that, but I think we're going to be slowing down soon, which is why, that's probably what we're doing now, which is why this one up there. So we're going to try and hold the altitude we're at till we get our speed down, and then we should catch back up with that. That's what I'm hoping for. We'll keep an eye on that, but I think we're going to do okay. We're flying just a little bit below our descent path, or VNAV path, but I think we'll recapture that once we're slowed down. There we go. We got a response from our message. Speed limit exceeded. Yeah, we're working on slowing down. Relax. Let's go back to here. And then we'll go AOC menu. We'll go to received messages. And this is just going to say, must equal 390 minutes. Please resend. Okay. ATZ for 390. There we go. We'll send that. We'll head back to flight plan. Let's jump back up here. Looks like we're back on that path. We're at our appropriate speed. So all of that worked out just fine. We're going to get a message back from them in a minute. There it is, company message. So we'll do that one more time. AOC menu. So just for reference, if you go to received messages, and I would have gone to the first one, right in here, send ADC for 390 minutes. So when I did 0055, if I would have just read this, I would have known that I had to put 390 in there. But let's go back here. Let's open this ADC received. Go ahead and return that. Back to flight plan. And that is that. Right turn. Starting to make our way onto this waypoint here. Airport is off to our left. We can go into a wing view. It's not much to see. It's kind of like we're looking up because it's just water. Not a whole lot of excitement there. We'll jump back up front here. But I think we are doing well. Again, I haven't flown this plane in quite a while. So, remembering how to do everything, I'm a little bit rusty. But so far, we're looking good. Our departure was good. Our cruise was good. We didn't have a lot of turbulence or anything like that on our cruise. That went really well. Looks like we are slowed down. What is our target speed here? 250 down to 209. And we're definitely going a little bit slower than that. I guess we're not. We're good. Continuing to descend. We're going to get our flaps extended once we make this left turn. And we'll also get our landing system turned on, so we can look for our ILS and everything like that. We'll get that turned on now just to keep an eye out for that. Everything's good on that screen. We can go ahead and get auto brake set to medium. We can arm our spoilers now if we want, but we might need to use them. But we'll just leave them like that for now. Seatbelt signs are on. All our lights are on that we're supposed to have until we're lined up with the runway. We'll get our taxi lights and everything on once we're a little bit closer. There's the airport right there that we're going to be landing at. We can get terrain on, I think. I don't remember where the terrain, right here. Is that working? It is working. All right, so we'll keep our terrain on for now. We're going to continue descending. We're at 5,000, which is exactly where we're expected to be. And we are doing good. 4,800 feet. Continuing to descend. We're going to make a left turn up here momentarily. Wow, it looks beautiful out there. Look at that. Look at those mountains. Beautiful. We'll head over to a wing view. There's the coast as we fly in over it. Right into Jamaica. Alright, we should be starting a left turn here in a second. I wish we would have already started it, but there we go. There's our left turn. Alright, so we do have our landing system on. We do have the glide path in sight here. We don't have our localizer on here yet, but we will get that in a second. We're going to capture our glide path here in a second. There we go. So we can go ahead and go localizer, which we should get a positive capture on that. And we did. We can go ahead and go approach mode, and we should get a positive capture on that as well. And we did. So we are good to go. We'll go ahead and go flaps. We'll start extending our flaps. There's flaps 1. And we'll go flaps 2. No, we can't go 2 yet. We got to bring our speeds down some. Alright, and everything is looking good. We'll get our runway turn-off lights on, our taxi lights turned on. I guess our wing lights. But we do need to start slowing down. Oh, we need to activate our approach. Did it automatically activate? Yes, it did. Thank goodness. All right, we're gonna go into speed management mode. We're gonna start pulling our speeds down because we're coming in a little bit hot. And there we are. And there we are. We're gonna start slowing down. We're gonna add some speed brakes to help us slow down. We'll go another notch of flaps. We're gonna get this down a little bit more. We're gonna get down to about 140 if we can. And we're almost good to drop our gear. I just want to get a little bit slower before we do. I'll go ahead and add another notch of flaps. And we are full flaps. And we'll go ahead and drop our gear. Alright, our gear is down. Speed this up just a little bit. 145. Everything is looking good. We'll go ahead and rearm our speed brakes since we are slowed down. We were going a little bit fast there. We're good now. And what was our landing speed? 137 is going to be our landing speed. So we're pretty close to that now.
1,000.
There's a wing view. Looking good so far. All right, we'll jump back up here. And we're going to bring this down to 137. There we are. All right, we'll get our feet on the controls. And we're going to take control of this in a second here. Just going to make sure we are following that glide path right down.
500.
500.
Above.
All right, we'll go ahead and toggle off the autopilot. I now have the plane. There we go. Keep it to the right just a little bit. We're going to follow that glide path right on down. We're a little bit high. Okay, let's level it out here. There we are. I don't know what that is. Auto land. I don't have auto land on.
100.
Or I don't know what that sign is. All right, we'll go ahead and drop back to idle.
50. 40.
We're going to give a nice little flare. I don't know why I'm getting these warnings. Oh, we slammed down a little bit hard. All right, and we'll go ahead and let the plane slow itself down. We don't need to do reversers. I don't know what those alerts were. I'm not really sure why those popped up. I'll have to take a look. I'm going to go back at the video and look at those and figure out what exactly they were. All right, and we are good. We can get off right here. We're going to give a right rudder. We'll bring our flaps in. We're going to slow down a little bit more. A little bit of a wobbly landing there, but we are down. We'll pull ourselves up just a little bit more past this line here. There we are. And we'll go ahead and stop here for a minute. Our flaps are already pulled back in. We unarmed our speed brakes. We can go ahead and get our APU on. So let's get that started. We can go ahead and get our strobe turned off. Our landing lights can come off. And we can turn our nav and logos to 1 instead of, you know, so it's just logo. Everything else there looks good. Let's make sure that flap door is open. Auto flight, autopilot off. I'm aware of that. I don't know how to clear that. That's down here, I believe. There we go. Flap is open, so we'll go ahead and start the APU and get the APU bleed on, and we'll start our taxi. We're going to be taxiing off to the right and just following that straight up to the terminals. Pretty good flight. We did bounce. We dropped down a little bit hard, which might be what those warnings were. Maybe they were just letting us know we were coming in a little strong. All right, so we're going to make a hard right here. There we are. I can see the buildings up on the hill. That looks awesome. All right, and here's our taxiway. Here's where we are on the taxiway. We're going to take it straight down to the terminals. Welcome to Jamaica. We'll leave our seatbelt signs on for now. Our APU should be ready pretty soon. We will get a sign or an alert that says APU avail. I'm sure we'll get that pretty soon. Let's get our taxi going a little bit more here. There we go. We'll just coast it there. Yeah, I'm really not sure what those auto land was blinking and master warning or master caution. One of those two were going off. I'm not sure why that happened, but the landing went fairly well. We just dropped it a little quick at the end there, but what are you gonna do? We're coming in a little bit quick, I guess. There's a wing view. We'll jump back up here. We can pull in really to any of these terminals. Yeah, we'll just pull into this one over here. Pull off to the side, and we're gonna pull right into this terminal right here where my mouse is. All right, let's center it up here. Go ahead and start slowing down a little bit. There we go. Come in nice and smooth. And there we are. We'll go ahead and set our brake, which we just did. We'll get our runway turn off. Taxi lights can come off as well. Nav and logo light will get off. Beacon can come off. And we need to do our deboarding process. So we'll head over to the Fenix app. Actually, what we need to do is get... oh yeah, we can get our engines off because we are on the... We have the APU. So we'll go ahead and switch the engine off. Engine 1 and engine 2. They can come off. I need to reset these positions. I need to do them right. All right, that's coming off. We'll go ahead and do deboard, which should hook up all of our stuff on the ground here, I believe. GPU, yeah, whoop, GPU chocks. We'll get that door open. Everything will start opening up. What else can we do here? We can get our cargo door open. I don't know what bulk is. We'll just get our cargo. I guess both cargo. And we should be able to get established on ground power. We do have ground power, so we'll go on that. We'll go ahead and turn off our bleed and our master APU switch. And there you go. We made it to Jamaica, JetBlue. If you guys enjoyed this flight, be sure to hit the like button, leave a comment, definitely subscribe if you're not subscribed, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.